Welcome back to Porch Reflections. It is just, I can't sort of even begin to put words to it. It's just great to be doing this and great to be here. One of the things I know that's happening for me is the more I take away things that don't work, the more I'm left with really having to do the things that really do work, and then really taking responsibility for now doing them and doing them well. So cheers with my cup of tea to getting my voice up there a bit more, right? So I know that I have a lot to say. I know I say things in a way that seems to catch and stimulate some thought for people. I have a way and a perspective that I've just been told is unique. And I don't think I'm different because I see everyone as unique. So I see people the same way you see me. And with that being said, I'm listening more and more that my voice is what you want to hear, some of my reflections is what you want to hear, and that how I see the world might resonate with you, might bring you to question how you are in the world and how you want to continue to be more yourself. And I think what I'm bringing to the porch today is keep stripping away the things that really don't do you a good service, right? So I've pulled myself off of social media completely, and so that occasionally I will go on and look for something specific from someone I know that I need information from. But other than that, I'm off, and it has freed me up immensely because my brain is no longer thinking in ways of positioning myself, and I'm not looking to take photographs all the time that correlate with a way of expressing myself. So my visual is much more free just to look at things the way they are and to take an inside picture. I know Brene Brown on her on her Netflix thing talked about her daughter taking an inside picture. Well, it's something that my kids and I've shared over the years because my husband Peter took lots of photographs, and my son has a really nice camera and he takes still shots. But they do it for the art of taking the photo, right? And they use it as an inspiration just to reflect back the beauty in nature. And so we've often talked about the inside picture, not pulling out the phone, not taking it. That if you're going to go take pictures, go specifically to take pictures, but to not distract ourselves from the moment that we're in. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me. I'm giving myself so much freedom to just be in the experience with people, with the community that I'm in. I go to listen to music a lot, I walk a lot, and my brain is just much more settled and much more present to what's actually happening. So that's my little spiel, that's what I'm doing. And my ask of you is to keep noticing what's not essential and strip away what's not essential and see what arises, because we don't necessarily know how that unessential thing has been clouding or crowding out some things that want to surface. So that's one piece that I was bringing to the table today. The other piece of it is this place I put on this necklace on purpose. It's a heart, and it's actually two hearts. It's a metal heart in the back with another metal ring around or sitting inside of it. And so I often think of it as the heart that I have for myself and the heart that I have for the world, right? So that the two are very attached. These two are attached, right? So how I treat myself and feel towards myself is how I treat and see the world. And so it is personal work. It's condition of the heart. Topics like racism, topics like privilege and poverty, conversations about men and about women, all these topics that are being hurled around right now, and rightly so. I'm not saying that they ought not to be, but that these topics are in all of us in some degree or other, and it's the condition of our own heart that has to change. I know for a fact within me that my head and thinking about the topics doesn't actually get me very far. It provides me with some context, and I think context is important, but then it's my condition of my heart that I'm looking at. So how do I go about that? Anytime I feel slightly prickled, slightly annoyed, slightly shaken aback by a topic or a subject or a happening, I pause and I see where that is happening in myself, right? So I go in and I see that place where there's a sliver of it still present. And then I go in and again I become prayerful. I either ask for forgiveness, I ask for clarity, and I ask for guidance. And so I ask for forgiveness, I ask for clarity, and I ask for guidance. And from that place, I'm healing myself in the wounds that I see outside in the world. So it's a heart experience, my heart for the world, my heart for myself. And the two are joined, and I cannot separate them. And so it prevents me often from speaking up, which I'm fine with. I am a bigger fan of speaking to what's working really well in my life and in my body and in my relationships than what's not working well. When things are not working well, there's simply a pause for me to notice the prickling, noticing the fear, noticing agitation, and using those as I'm going to use the word warning, a caution, slow down, pay attention. And then I go in and do the work that I need to do. So I'm not apathetic in any way. I'm incredibly active in the condition of my own heart. And that is the place where I believe great change happens. That's where my eyes are wide open. That's where I start to see inspiration and awe all around me, and I can start to move from a place that inspires me in the places of change that I know I can be of value in when my condition in my heart is pure, right? So when my heart is pure, then the action has also a quality of humility and pureness and gratitude and service, going back to that word seva and service. So I'm hoping that made sense to you. To recap sort of where we are, this whole idea of open kind-heartedness, taking responsibility, heading in the direction of service. Coming to a place where we look at the condition of our own heart, that we're looking at scraping away, dropping away, pulling apart, dissecting, going in, figuring out the things that are no longer essential, our belief systems, our patterns, many, many different ways we can do that. And then bringing ourselves back again to both our heart for the world and the world humanity and our own condition of our own heart, and constantly working with both. I'm going to leave you with one last thing. It's something that I revisited when I was away recently on a trip, doing a retreat work with some spiritual work, is circular breath. It's never ending, right? So if you can take some moments today, tomorrow, the next couple of days, breathe as if you're breathing up your spine, and then breathe out, coming out the top of your body, out in front of you. Right? So your exhale goes out, and then it comes in, and it goes out, but then it starts to become very circular. So it doesn't really, you don't really know where the beginning and the end is. I use my visualization, so I'm visualizing the circle, and my breath is taking on a rhythm of its own. So sometimes my inhale stops where my mind, my visual is out here, and sometimes I transition from one to the other in here. So there's no real perfect starting and end point. It's an inhale and an exhale that starts to take on a circular motion, and I use my visual of the circle and just allow myself to let it flow. And I stay with it for quite a long time. I put music on, so I'll put on a piece of music and allow that music to inspire me. And that changes from day to day what that music is. I stay away from lyrics. I pretty much stay with just symphonic music and allow that to guide me. So I'm going to leave those things with you. Play around with breathing, play around with in and out in front and inside, right? Ourself and the world external, the internal and the external. this beautiful yoga mantra, Asatoma Sat Gamaya, talking about using the formless, the heart, the breath, the meditation, the things that are not here like this, to help us with these topics, subjects, debates, circumstances that are all around us right now. And can we use the formless to work in the realm of form, and know that we're all energy and that we have a far greater impact of changing the energetic field, and to work through energy, and I'm going to dare to say using some of the quantum physics that we have out there, the quantum field, and making change from an energetic perspective. All right, probably much longer than I thought, but here's our cup of tea. Enjoy your week. Hopefully this is going to spur you on to some conversations with your community and your family, and dive on deep and see what rises up for you, and let me know, share with me.